You know what really grinds my gears?
Write this down.
Hello, welcome back to the vlog. Hope you are having a pleasant day. It is April Fool's Day, April 1st, 2026, and this is episode 293. We're going to get into some
Write this down.
Write This Down. Let's start with the accountability session. We got a little bit to discuss. We got a lot of red on this episode. We're going to start at the top. I said Geno Smith would sign with either the Miami Dolphins or the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was actually traded back to the New York Jets, where he began his career. No clue why they did that. That's another Jets move. That's a head-scratcher, whatever. I said Kyler Murray would be traded by the Arizona Cardinals. He was, in fact, released and then signed, of course, with the Vikings, which we'll get to in a minute here. I said the NBA will have, or the WNBA, would be in a player strike in 2026. That is not going to happen. They actually got a collective bargaining agreement done, so they will be playing. I said Carson Wentz would sign with the New York Jets. He sticks with the Vikings. He re-signed about a month ago, maybe not even a month ago. I said Tyler Reddick would continue his winning ways, winning at least 2 more races in the next month from the time of that prediction to April 8th. He got 1 win. Mathematically, he cannot win a second race because NASCAR is off this week, and I didn't realize they were on an off week. I said by April 8th, and of course, this Sunday is April 8th, and they're actually off. And so that is wrong. So no NASCAR race this week. So unfortunately, I was half right. So that's a red. I said Luke Keeschall would be permanently moved to the outfield before the end of spring training. He has been at second base. He has not played the outfield since the season started. So that is wrong. But I did get some green. I said Kyler Murray will sign with the Minnesota Vikings. So I got a hit on that one. So good for me. As I gotta fix my camera. There we go. Looks a little better. How do I look? So let's make 6 more predictions. I don't know when the next episode of this is going to be. I'm leaning towards after the draft so we can lock some of these in, because some of these are draft related, the ones I'm about to say, and I have some in the past. So I think we're going to shoot next episode for the draft. By the way, my current standings, I am batting .210, 4 for 19 with 2 home runs. So that's where I stand right now. So not a great start for me, but hopefully we can change that in the coming weeks.
Write this down.
Let's start with a Twins prediction. This one hurts me to say it. I love this kid when he came up. He was a stud, but last year he struggled, and this year already he's struggling. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. Defensively, he's a butcher in the infield. Brooksley will be demoted to the Twins, by the Twins, to the minors before the All-Star break. He's continuing to struggle. He's having issues with his bat. He's got a great bat when he's on. He's on. But something's going on with him since last year, and his defense is just horrible and getting worse. So this could be when they decide to bring up Culpepper or go after somebody else if they decide Culpepper's not ready, which I think is bullshit because Culpepper's hot. Off to a hot start. He's looking good. He looks ready for the part. So I got a feeling these two are going to go hand in hand because I mentioned earlier in a previous Write This Down that Culpepper would get called up and make his debut. I think that's going to happen. I think they're going to have enough of Brooksley and they're going to send him down before the All-Star break. Write it down.
Write this down.
Let's get away from the Twins for a minute. Let's go to the Vikings for the draft. This is a specific prediction. I know they've been mocked for this guy before. So I'm not going to count this as a touchdown or a home run because I think because this guy's being mocked to the Vikings a lot, I don't think it qualifies. But I'm going to say the Vikings will draft Oregon safety Dylan Thiemann in the first round of the draft. Now, notice I said I was specific. I said in the first round of the draft. I did not say what specific position. I didn't say 18. I didn't say lower or higher. I'm leaving it open in case the Vikings make a move to go get another first-round draft pick. Whether they trade back into the first and have 2 first-round picks and pick somebody else and Thielman, or move higher up into the first to go grab Jeremiah Love and then say they have a second first-round pick at the end of the first round and then get Thielman. The Vikings have been known to have multiple first-round picks before. They did it in 2024 when they traded back. When they had 2 first-round picks, they traded up a couple spots to get J.J. McCarthy, and then they traded up a little more and gave up quite a bit of draft capital to get Dallas Turner. So I could see them doing that again. But I do believe the Vikings are going to draft Dylan Thielman, the safety from Oregon, sometime in the first round of the draft. Write it down.
Write this down.
Back to the Twins. The Twins will have no more than 2 All-Star representatives in this year's All-Star game. This team is a mess, but I think there are some bright spots on the team. Luke Keyshaw, Byron Buxton, Joe Ryan, even though he got hammered tonight in Kansas City. I could see 2 of those 3, or even all 3, being an all-star representative. I could see a prospect in the minors coming up right away and just balling out and being our representative. So I don't think we're going to have no more than 2, though, because we're so bad and there's other teams that are better. So Minnesota Twins will have no more than 2 representatives for the All-Star game. Write it down.
Write this down.
Let's go to WWE. I haven't talked WWE in a while. I haven't followed it much, so I went and looked at the card for WrestleMania, which is coming up middle of this month, So Randy Orton is going to defeat Cody Rhodes to become the undisputed WWE champion at WrestleMania 42. I believe he's a 14 or 15-time world champion. I believe it would make him 15 if I heard right, but I think they're going to give Randy another run. Plus, I think he's coming to the end of his career. I think they want to give him at least one more run. So Randy Orton will beat Cody Rhodes to win the title, the undisputed title, at WrestleMania 42. Write it down.
Write this down.
Back to the NBA. The referees are talking about possibly going on strike. They're in negotiations with the NFL for a new agreement. And there's talk the NFL's looking into alternatives, including replacement refs, which they tried that not too long ago, about a decade, and it was a disaster. And I think that year they got the regular refs back by week 3 or 4. But write this down. The NFL and the Referee Association will get a new deal in place by week 1 of the regular season. I think the NFL is going to remember what they went through. They're going to see all the issues that they've had before. They're going to see all the issues that other leagues are having with their officials, whether it's the NBA officials being totally disgusting and whatever, the MLB umpires dealing with the ABS system. NFL doesn't want to deal with that, so they're going to get a deal in place. There will be no replacement refs, and a deal will be in place by week 1 of the regular season. Write it down.
Write this down.
Last but not least, we're going to talk Minnesota Twins. I believe they will be finishing last place in the AL Central. This team is a joke. They stripped the team down from 2024 into 2025 and then claimed we're committed to winning championships, and they didn't do a damn thing this offseason. The bullpen's in shambles. The hitting can't do anything. This is the saddest Minnesota Twins team I've seen in years, and they will finish in last place in the AL Central Division. That is it for Write That Down. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll keep track of everything. Before we end this episode, let me do just a little reminder of everything else that's on the list. I'll give you some relevant ones. Like NFL ones, I'm not going to bother because they're not going to come off anytime soon. MLB will expand to 32 teams by 2030. There's still rumors about that. Timberwolves will win the NBA Finals in 7 games this year. We'll see. Evolution will be a permanent annual pay-per-view event, PLE, excuse me. Mike Tomlin's still on the board here. He'll go in the media in 2026, but will be a head coach again in 27. Still nothing on that. Twins signed Michael Kopech. He's still a free agent, still out there. They could use an arm. Give him a call, Twins. Twins will trade Josh Bell by the trade deadline. That's probably on the books. The aforementioned Kalen Culpepper and Walker Jenkins. And another prediction I predicted, Emmanuel Rodriguez. I said all of them will make their debuts sometime in 2026. Aaron Rodgers will be back for the 2026 NFL season. Vikings will draft defensive tackle Lee Hunter. The Wild would win the Western Central Division. I think that's leaning towards not happening. I think the Wild are actually not going to win their division. I'll have to check on that. I don't think the league is much longer for the regular season. For that, I'll have to check that. 2 of the 4 cities will be added to the NBA for expansion. Seattle, Vegas, Pittsburgh, and Kansas City. It sounds like Seattle and Vegas are the ones. They're going to vote on that. The Wolves will be moved to the Eastern Conference after the league expands to 32. That's sounding more and more likely. A lot of people are agreeing with that and like the idea of a division of the Wolves, Bulls, Bucks, and Pistons. Kind of like the NFC North with the Vikings, Bears, Lions, and Packers. I think that would be a great division. I'd love to see my home state Pistons be a rival of the Timberwolves. That'd be great. Pistons are good this year, by the way. Nice to see them be good since many dog shit years, since the Ben Wallace championship days. There's some other ones here. Montreal making a strong push for expansion to relocate or expand back to the city. Trevor Lawrence being traded by August 1st. So yeah, there's a few still on the board. So we'll see if any of these come off. Wild winning the Stanley Cup, or not winning, making the Stanley Cup. I didn't say they would win. So got several things still on the board that I hope will be coming true. So that's it for now. If you like this episode, hit that like button. Leave a comment if you like. Subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to help out future projects or upgrade the channel, please visit my Patreon, or you can drop something in the old Cash App. You don't have to help, but any help is greatly appreciated. Until next time, peace out, and the vlog is over.